Hello and welcome everybody to another edition of the PHX. Easy enough for me to say. But
Oh, all right.
Saul caught me off guard. Welcome into another edition of the PHNX Suns pregame party. I'm your host, Greg Esposito. Ahoy, hoy. Joined as always by the man, the myth, the legend. He's back, baby. And we're not talking about Devin Booker. We're talking about Saul Bookman. Saul, how are you?
I'm not too bad. I'm still on vacation mode because technically I don't return until tomorrow, and so I'm going to soak up every last second of it. But I'm here to help in a time of need for our dear Lindsay Smith, who had something going on personally. So I am here.
Yeah. Well, glad to have you. Good to see you. But there is bigger news than you being back.
Well, hey,
Devin
two,
Booker is
two,
back,
two,
baby.
two books are always better than one to come back on the same day. I didn't even time this. This is the beauty of this. Devin Booker and Saul Bookman both back on the same day. This is gorgeous. I love it.
Yeah, these Suns tweeting out a little over an hour and a half ago that injury update: Devin Booker left hamstring strain is available to play tonight. Hallelujah! The man is back, and it's been 7 long games, but they really weren't that long when you look at it. 5-2, the Suns finished without Book. Are you surprised how well they were able to thrive without Devin in the lineup?
Not at all. Not at all. I think I was more surprised on them missing Da and how well they fared, and them missing obviously both Book and Da. But this is a solid basketball team. We've said it time and time again. I think the days are gone where you miss a superstar like that and everything just falls apart. You have two bona fide superstars, and then you have two bona fide, very, very close superstars in Mikal Bridges and DeAndre Ayton. So when you go four deep like that, all the way around, the drop offs aren't as steep as they used to be.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Happy birthday to one of our Cove Great Crazy Sundress Dunks.
Happy
Glad we could
birthday!
get you D Book back for your birthday. Fabio in the
That's
chat
where
says,
that's where you didn't know this, but that's where I've been the last 10 days. I have been massaging Devin Booker's hamstrings, trying to make sure we got some
"Here,
some vitamin D milk in
beautiful."
there. Make sure he was ready to go. So I took one for the team. Everybody, you're welcome. He's back.
Wow. I'm not going to go there.
Did,
Fabio in
did
the
you never
chat says,
watch Little? You ever watch Little Giants? That's
"It's
what
been
the father
so
does
long
to his
since
son.
I saw Little Giants."
I don't know why I keep doing this when I'm talking about massaging.
You are close to massaging your own hamstring there. But Fabio says, "Oh no, Espo back in the closet. It's not health and safety protocols this time. It was there's too much shit going on in Arizona sports, and all of our producers and studios were booked today, so we are here." John says, "PHNX Espo's Pink Glasses pregame podcast. Pick a pickle pepper. These are purple. Thank you very much, but it still works as well." So Saul, the Charlotte Hornets rolling into town tonight. LaMelo Ball and the crew in Phoenix. I was looking at this. I was doing my research because, yes, sometimes I do research for this show. And I was surprised at how good of an offensive team
Oh
Charlotte
yeah.
has been this year. They're first in points per game at 115.6 overall. But then you look at the roster, and they've
Hmm.
got a very potent roster in terms of at least offensively when you look at it. Gordon Hayward on this team, Terry Rozier, obviously. Ball is there. Kelly Oubre comes off the bench, and he's averaging 16 off the bench. So I think we're in for a likely offensive battle. The difference here is Charlotte is terrible defensively. Not terrible. They're not great defensively, where the Suns are the number 3 based defense when you look at it on defensive net rating. Going to be an interesting battle for sure tonight.
Listen, the Hornets are one of the more fun teams to watch in the league. There's no question about that. And, they're led, just like we are, by their point guard in LaMelo Ball. LaMelo leads them in points, rebounds, assists, and steals. He's a remarkable player, and I'll give him credit because I wasn't a big LaMelo believer early on in his in his ball career, but he proved it last year in the league that he could definitely hold his own, if not more. And this year he's taking it to another level. They got 6 dudes that average double figures. And that's significant. And they're a fun team to watch. LaMelo's the head of that snake, though, so you got to control LaMelo, because as he goes, they kind of go, because he kind of, he gives them the juice on the court. Just like when Devin Booker's rolling, he kind of picks up everybody else, or CP3's rolling, he kind of picks up everybody else. LaMelo's that dude. Everybody else kind of plays off of him. And then Gordon Hayward, obviously, he's kind of the more stable guy in that whole group. But Miles Bridges is averaging almost 20 points a game. He's somebody that I don't think a lot of people give a lot of credit to. Miles Bridges is one of the best small forwards in the league. And he's so physical at that position. He could dunk at anybody, and we've seen it a million times. So this is a really, really good team, a good test for the Suns. I'm glad Book's back, because this should be a fun one.
Yeah, I think this is a battle of underappreciated bridges. Mikhail gets a lot of love here in Phoenix, as I'm sure Miles does in Charlotte, but nationally, I don't think either of them quite get the attention. I actually want to see the two of them match up a lot tonight. I know LaMelo is kind of the star, not kind of, he's the star for this team, with averaging that 20 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 8 assists, a game. But I feel like Miles may wind up being the key. LaMelo will get his, but if you can shut down Miles, matching Mikhail against him could be interesting. What I didn't realize with LaMelo, though, he ranks 23rd in points per game, 7th in assists per game, and 6th in steals per game, and 8th in free throw percentage. So he has a very complete game, and I get it. He won Rookie of the Year, but it's always that second year. How do you come out that sophomore year? And he's played very well so far.
And he also leads them in rebounding, which is kind of absurd from the guard position, that your point guard's leading the team in rebounding, which also goes back to your former point about their defense and their lack of. They're not very good on the defensive end. They're one of the worst teams in the league on that side of the ball. So listen, if the Suns play solid defense and can slow them down on the offensive side, they should win this game rather easily. But this team scores it in such a high clip that basically every game they're in it. And even when you're up by 10 with 3 minutes left to go, you're still not out of the woods. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful, if you're the Suns, that you don't, take your foot off the gas when you're putting this team away. You got to put them away. That's why this team is 16-15. When you see teams that have one, they're in the top of the league in one category and the bottom on another, whether it be offensive or defensive, that's why their records usually end up being 50-50 or 500, because there's no consistency from one end to the other.
Yeah, you bring up rebounding, and I don't think it's that big of a surprise that LaMelo leads them when their big man is Mason Plumlee, right? No shock there, but the Hornets overall are just a bad rebounding team. They're 26th in the league, and I think that's the position I focus on tonight. How can DeAndre Ayton take it to Mason Plumlee on the boards and offensively? How does he show out, and how much does Devin Booker change what we've seen from DA? Does he become less aggressive again? Does the offense move away from pick and rolls with him, because they had increased in pick and rolls between him and CP3? How much does Book coming back change that dynamic, and how long does it take for them to find their equilibrium with Book back after 7 games off?
Also, the other thing is that Miles Bridges, through the course of this season so far, has played very much better on the road as opposed to at home, which is kind of surprising. He picks it up about a couple more points per game. He leads them in rebounding on the road. He leads them in block shots on the road. So, like I said, I think the Bridges matchup is a perfect identifier for you to pick out as kind of the key matchup of the game, because I believe that's going to be the one that kind of seals it for the Suns.
Yeah, let's take a look at what our friends over at DraftKings think about this game. And they have the Suns running away with this. It's a 9-point favorite for the Suns in the game this evening, which I don't know. I want to believe it. Last game they win by 20. They played very well. I just look at the potency of Charlotte's offense. and the Suns gonna have to figure out kind of who they are with Book back, which I know shouldn't be that tough because Devin is the star, but they've played so well without him that I think that first quarter you may see some adjustment. I don't know. 9 feels like a bit much to me.
I mean, anytime you're almost at double digits in the NBA, I always like to pause everything because I don't believe it. I don't like it. So yeah, I don't think I'd take the Suns and the money. I think I would take the Hornets with the spread, but I believe the Suns will win by at least 5. But
Yeah,
I'm not comfortable with 9.
I'd take the Suns money line. I would take the Hornets with the points there. I
Yeah.
think it makes sense. Elon, our friend Elon Musk says, Elon here, Cardinals lost and Bridges rubbed it in. He better play good for making that tweet. You know, Mikal Bridges can do no wrong in my estimation, and I think the Cardinals deserve that tweet. I think there's a lot of Rams fans licking their chops tonight.
I mean, did you see the Cardinals play today? I'm not going to be offended by anything anybody says today about the Cardinals because they look like absolute trash. Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. Lace Bacon says, let's go Crowder's Cash Club. I do have some scratch down on that. I did a same game parlay. I took Crowder with the first bucket and the Suns to win on the money line. So I got some pretty good odds. I think it was plus 1,600. So you got time to hop on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, make that bet. Use the code PHNX if you're signing up for the first time, and you will get the advantage of being a member and being a fan of what we're doing here on PHNX. So go check that out if you would. Injury report for the first time in a very, very, very long time. We're looking at an empty, for the most part, injury report. Obviously, Frank Kaminsky and Dario Saric are still injured, but in terms of guys who could realistically come back here in the near future, Abdul Nader, excuse me, the only one on the list still with knee injuries. Charlotte has nobody on the injured list. They have, like, I swear, 7 guys that are on G League assignment based on their game notes, but nobody actually injured. So we're looking at full squads. Nobody's gonna be able to say, "Well, if only we had tonight." It won't be that kind of evening.
If only we had Jamal Murray. Dude, this might be the one game in the NBA that didn't get affected by anything pandemic related yet. So I mean, who knows? This thing is such a fluid situation, and I know all the leagues are kind of looking at how to maneuver around this. I know the reports haven't been about the what variant this is all a cause of, but we all have to assume that's the Omicron because it seems to be the most contagious, but the least impactful when it comes to overall health. But the league's got to play it safe and make sure that they're protecting the players. And I know there's a lot of controversy about that. And hey, we'll see how it goes. But hey, tonight we got a full squads on both sides. Let's throw it up. Let's see how it goes.
And Devin Booker, thanks to that early season, COVID has that super immunity, as they call it, with the with the vaccine and having had it. So hopefully he'll be good for a while. Let's take a look at our gift box. Your time is ticking down here, right? The tip-off's near, but so is your last chance to get the PHNX gift boxes to put under that Christmas tree. A great deal here. I believe it's $59.98. You're going to get 2 shirts and an annual membership plus a $15 gift card for yourself. And you know what? You could even just buy this for yourself. You can be the Scrooge of your friends and family and just buy this for yourself and not give it to anybody else. Why not? Or buy it for everybody. It's that good.
Wait, 2 shirts, a membership, which 2 shirts is $60 already by itself, and then a membership's already $60 for the annual membership, and a gift card. So that's
Correct.
like $135 value for $60.
Yeah, well, you were gone. I basically said, screw it. We're giving away the farm.
Oh, my goodness.
I
Yeah.
actually, if you buy the gift box, you can be general manager of PHNX for a day as well. You got to send in your proof of purchase and you can run the whole thing. Or you can guest on this show. Whatever you want.
How Idaho Lieutenant Governor of you, Espo.
Oh,
I appreciate that.
well, just wait till you get back. Your desk is 3 doors down the hall in one of the solar panel companies down there. So, hey,
Oh, I thought
we
you were
went
telling me.
crazy while you were gone.
I thought you traded me back to solar panel for a
No, no.
second.
I tried to trade you to DNVR, but they didn't want anything to do with it. So we welcome you back, but your desk is much further down the hall now. So
We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Sandra Stunk says Espo's Santa Claus. No, no, no. All right. So let's get in final thoughts in this game as we inch towards tip off, Saul. What do you think becomes the X factor tonight for you? What is the difference maker in this game?
I think it's going to be the team defense on LaMelo Ball. How he gets involved, how he gets his teammates involved, and how he scores. I think this is going to be a large responsibility on not only Mikal, because I feel like Mikal is going to be the one that matches up with LaMelo the most. It just makes sense because of both their length, their size, and their speed. I think that's who I would match up Ball on is with Mikal Bridges. So that's the matchup I think is going to play the largest role in the outcome of this game. And I expect the Suns to win easily, but not by double digits. I think it'll be somewhere between 5 to 8 points.
Look, tonight is night. You need your defense to show up. You need Mikal Bridges to play that kind of defense that we saw in that first game against the Warriors, be that true shutdown defensive guy. You need Ayton and McGee locked in on the boards. Don't give up second chance points to a team that's the highest points per game in the league. If you do those two things, I think you're set up for success. Like we talked about while we were looking at the spread, I don't feel like this is a 9-point Suns one. I think it's that 5-6 point area that you were talking about, Saul. But the one thing we haven't really talked about that we need to before we get out of here is you have to make sure this isn't the Kelly Oubre revenge game, right? You don't want Kelly coming in here. He's averaging 16 points off the bench and 4 rebounds. You don't want him to come in and have a big night because that's the kind of thing. The way his energy is, and we saw it here time in, time out in Phoenix, his energy can spark an entire team. And he's going to be very, very pumped up to play in front of this Suns crowd again. Just make sure you keep him in check. Don't let him do anything crazy tonight.
Let him go ham. Let him shoot all he wants. I mean, he was the black hole when he was here, and if he wants to be the black hole in Charlotte, let him be it. Because he'll end up costing his team the win. I don't care. I love Kelly Oubre, but we all know that ball, once it got into his hands, never left until it went up for a shot. So if he thinks this is going to be the revenge game, then let him have it. He's already had his kind of quote-unquote revenge game last season when he was playing for the Warriors and got a chance to play the Suns team. It is a little bit different this year because he is playing here in front of a crowd for the very first time. So that'll be, I'm sure he's super charged about this, but hey, I'm not too concerned about Kelly Oubre tonight because the Suns know Kelly Oubre. They understand his weaknesses, and I think they can exploit him better than anybody else in the league.
Look, I agree with you in premise, but the fact that has embraced that 6-man role and is playing it in Charlotte makes it more dangerous if he goes on a heater, right? Because
it's easy to be the 6th man and be the ball hog when you're the 6th man.
But that's my point. If you let him go off in those 6-man minutes, being the black hole, stopping the ball and just doing those things isn't as detrimental as it was when he was in a starting lineup. If LaMelo in that first unit gets something going and then Kelly can sustain it because he has a big night off the bench, that becomes troublesome. That's why I think you have to keep Kelly in check. Elon says, final thought, Ayton needs to make 5 dunks this game and get 20-plus points, and Booker needs 25. I do not understand the obsession with Ayton dunks. A layup is the same 2 points as a dunk. Until they add an extra point because he slams it harder than laying it in, I don't give a crap as long as he makes his buckets around the basket.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that, Espo. I do not understand the obsession with wanting every Ayton move to be a Shaq-like, impactful, rip the rim scenario. Like, I just don't understand it. Listen, I love DA's game. I thought he played very well against Portland. He's played very solid since coming back. Keep playing the way he's playing. They're going to be fine.
Look, and I'm not saying I don't enjoy a good DeAndre dunk. The other night he had one against Portland. He had one that looked very Amari-esque, and if he does that on a more regular basis, yeah, I'll enjoy it. But I don't think it makes it as big of a difference as some people pound the table like it does. Elon with another question. He asks, "What does the membership get you?" That is a great question, and what it gets
Yeah.
you is access to all of our written content, including the fantastic work that our beat reporter Gerald Bourguet does. His breakdowns, all of his inside info, you can get it all there. There's special video content that you get there. You get access to our Discord, which is one of my favorite places to talk Suns basketball and hang out with you guys. So there's all sorts of benefits. Plus, you get our members only deals on our merchandise. So that's what you get there, Elon. It is well worth it. And speaking of merch, new stickers in the shop. Uh, this is a great way to support things. If you can't afford the T-shirt, which I understand, times are tight for some people. $5 for one of these great sticker sheets. You get 5 stickers in it, and you can support the cause and make your laptop, your sweatshirt, your face, whatever you want, look a little bit better with our fresh designs. So you can get those at phnxlocker.com as well as the gift box you can pick up there too. So Saul, Crowder's Cash Club in play tonight, and we're going to have that bad boy going on. So hopefully Jay gets that first bucket. If you did bet on Jay, send me a screenshot of your bet on Twitter, either to @Espo or at PHNX_Suns. If it doesn't hit and you bet on it, maybe I'll pick one of you to get a little something from the prize closet as well. So Saul, any final thoughts before we wrap it up here?
No, I'm just gonna go back to my vacation, and I'll see you in the post game.
Yeah, thank you for not making me do this solo, because that's not good for anybody, myself included. So if you want to follow along during the game, you can follow Saul Bookman at Saul_Bookman. The Bookman's there to fit the luggage because he hasn't unpacked yet. He's still on Florida time. You can follow me at Espo. You can follow the show at PHNX_Suns. Till the post game. Ahoy hoy.